How you doing? This is Bryon Watkins, Bryon Watkins from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's November the 5th at approximately 9:40 in the a.m. Now, this video is very important because so many people have no idea about the corrupt system, that how it really works, and what's being perpetrated among innocent persons. And first of all, on Facebook, Bryon Bryon Watkins, there are a lot of us who are on there who studies the laws that are very well hidden from the public and has been very well hidden for a very long time. People don't know this because they're so busy in their day-to-day lives, working 2 and 3 jobs, homework, school, parenting, house chores, so forth and so on. So before you know it, and people looking at TV, they don't have time, nor have they no idea to even fathom, to think, to study the unscrupulous acts within our judicial system and our political system. Some people are waking up, but we need more of you. And this topic today is extremely important. Jury nullifications. Now, any attorney will tell you, and they're going to lie to you flat out, well, jury nullifications is illegal and unconstitutional and blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. No, it's not illegal. And I dare any attorney in this country to prove me wrong and to put your freaking money where your mouth is, because you're a damn lie if you say jury nullification is illegal, because it's not illegal. Too many court case decisions have proven it's not illegal. Too many state constitutions has in their state constitutions about jury nullification being legal, and if in fact it's any way, shape, or form trampled upon, that is a violation of that person's First Amendment right, especially in libel cases. Look it up, because I did. Again, jury nullification, you're probably saying still, what the hell is jury nullification? Why is that so important? Well, I'll tell you why it's so damn important. For starters, why don't you talk to the 400 plus men who were wrongfully convicted and exonerated through the Innocence Project, through DNA, within a 5-year period, who were exonerated and released from prison because of a crime. Not only did they not commit, they weren't even in the vicinity of committing that alleged crime. And you're probably still wondering, well, how did they end up in prison? Well, it's very simple. Jury nullification needs to be brought to the forefront more. I'll explain jury nullification briefly, because I've said this before, I go down to the Las Vegas County District Court, the Article 1 Inferior Joke Court. I listen into arguments just to see what kind of unalienable rights are being violated that are supported by our Constitution. I'll give you one example. I went to court. I was listening to a case with a gentleman, fine young man. He got stabbed prior to this case. He got stabbed bad, and so he had to be put on medical marijuana to ease the pain. And I agree with that, because he got, from what I heard in the court, from what his attorney was telling the court, it was pretty bad. Up in Colorado. He moved here to Vegas. I guess he got caught with a very small amount of marijuana. Ooh, wow, big crime. Who gives a shit? Anyway, he gets convicted of something petty. Had I went to a jury, me personally, I would have nullified the law. That's what that means. I don't give a shit what kind of evidence the district attorney in the court brings before you. You can look at the evidence and say, yeah, that's nice. Fuck it. Sorry, we don't think that's illegal. Therefore, we're going to nullify it. Period. And the district attorney will lie to you. Well, no, you have to listen to the court. No, you don't. Bullshit. Bullshit. In fact, from what I understand, and this you can check up on, but what I've understood, the jury foreman has more power than the courtroom judge. Because you got to understand, the judge is not a judge in district going courts. There are an executive administrator. That's it. The title is not really judge. That's the Article 3 judges, who are your state Supreme Court and the United States Supreme Court. Those are real judges. District going court judges, they're not judges. They're there to administer contracts. They want to contract you in an alleged crime to get money from you. That's it. That's all it's about. Now back to jury nullification. Also some history, and this is fact. Why do you think you're allowed to drink alcohol to this very day? I'm gonna give you a few seconds to think about that. Why do you think you are allowed to drink alcohol to this very day legally? I'll tell you why. Yeah, you're right. The 21st Amendment nullified the 18th Amendment. But what led to that, so many court cases were brought before the judge about alcohol because it was illegal at the time. A lot of juries nullified the laws. In fact, if I recall, I think a little over 60% of alcohol crimes are brought to courts, the jury nullified it. They didn't agree with the law. So eventually it helped in a great deal lead to nullifying illegal alcohol that made it legal. That's how powerful jury nullification is, because you got to understand, and this has already been proven unequivocally without a doubt, there are hundreds of unconstitutional laws. There's 100 of state laws that are unconstitutional, and you can nullify them bitches. You can go in front of oh, by the way, once you get called to jury duty, don't tell nobody you know about jury nullification because they'll kick you off. Don't say shit. If they ask you, fucking lie. Hell, the courts lie all the time. And if they say, well, you have to take an oath, bullshit. Jurors do not have to take an oath. I don't care what no one says. I don't give a fuck if 20 Article 1 district court executive administrators came to you and say, you have to take an oath. No, you don't. Wrong. Bullshit. And tell them, really? Show me in the Constitution where it says I have to take an oath. Oh, well, the Constitution has nothing to do with this court. Yes, it does. What? What? Yes, it does. Bullshit. Yes, it does. I'm saying these questions because you're going to be asking yourself that question. I ran into a gentleman. This is true. I ran into a gentleman from Finland. Me and another gentleman were talking about right now jury nullification. A gentleman overheard and he said, he excused himself and said, yeah, that's an interesting topic. And Finland is different. And I asked him, well, how's it different in Finland? In Finland, they have jury education. They actually educate the jury on the laws, jury nullification, hearsay evidence, all kind of stuff. I'm like, son of a bitch, we need that in America. Because when you go through what's called, first before you get to a jury, when you go through what's called the jury indictment process, the district attorney invokes all kinds of hearsay evidence. They paint a picture in the jury's minds to make you believe that person's already guilty. But here's another trick. You listening? Hearsay evidence cannot be brought up during the actual trial. Don't fucking matter. The crooked, corrupt district attorney already put hearsay evidence into your mind. And it's going to be rattling in there, trust me. You're going to be thinking about it. Subconsciously, you may use it to make a decision that can be wrong. Again, over 400 wrongfully convicted persons were exonerated through DNA testing and other methods within a 4.5-year period, under a 5-year period. That's a lot. Because if you add that up, I wonder if that process were happening on a continuous basis for 20 straight years minimum. Because I'm 42, so 20 straight years minimum. How many innocent persons do you think are in prison right now as I'm making this video talking to you? My guess, honestly, if I had to bet my life on it, over 100,000. Yes, I really believe that. I think it's close to 200,000. Because you got to understand something also. 52% of the prison population are in prison for just dumb, menial bullshit. It's about money. They need your body for money. Look that up. I'm not going to get into detail because I want to keep this on jury nullification. Look it up how prisons make money off the human body. Perfect example. This happened recently in Pennsylvania. A judge got indicted and convicted on 2 felonies, I believe it was, because he purposely convicted thousands of young, which is another trick that's going on within our judicial system, another fraud. He helped convict over a couple thousand of innocent minors to get kickbacks from private corporations. Over $2 million. Yes, look it up. That happened recently. Now, I'm going to read to you because I know some attorneys are eventually going to say that, look at this and they're shaking their heads. Oh, no, don't listen to him. Bryon doesn't know what he's talking about. Fuck you. Yeah, I do. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And in the near future, you're going to be seeing my ass in court. I'm going to be challenging you crooked motherfuckers. By the way, I'm going to repeat this because this is fact. I said it in my last YouTube video. For those who read the Bible, I read it periodically. Jesus always sat around the table. He called on the tax collector and the attorneys. Yes, all the time. All the damn time. And they asked Jesus, Jesus, why do you calling us so? And Jesus said, well, fuck. Oh, he didn't say that, I'm sure. But he said, because you two sin the most. Duh. Tax collectors and attorneys, you two are the most crooked and corrupt, unconstitutional, unethical, immoral, uncouth assholes that ever walked the face of this planet. Yes, Bryon Watkins from Las Vegas, Nevada said it. Do something about it. Because you're not. You all can kiss my brown ass. Yes. Because you're corrupt. You're a disease. You're tyrannical. You commit treason. That's punishable by death. That's how serious this is. You all convict innocent persons all the time and you know they're innocent, but you don't give a shit because you want to win on your notch up on your column. Oh, I'm for my client. Yeah. No, you're not. I got an idea. Why don't we replace the innocent person in prison and put your sorry ass there in general population? Because I tell you now, knowing what I know now, I'm glad I'm not in corrections no more. If I was in the corrections department and one of you crooked motherfuckers came through, I would inadvertently, instead of putting you in protective custody, I'll put you in general population and say, oops, sorry about that. Oh, by the way, inmates on the yard, that's a crooked attorney. Oh, my bad, I said that? Oh, shit, fuck, oh well. Sorry. I remember that when I think about that innocent person, lives you took, who spent 5, 10, 15, 20 years in prison without the comfort of a man or a woman, their family, birthdays, parties, New Year's Eves, their own birthdays, buying clothes, driving a car, walking in the street, eating decent food, seeing a doctor on a regular basis, seeing a dentist on a regular basis, potentially going to school, and I can go on. So don't fucking tell me, because you're probably some people are probably shaking your head, oh, that's being mean. I don't want to hear that mean shit. You take your ass to some of these courtroom proceedings and see how this crooked shit works. You read about all these innocent persons going to prison, then being let out of prison, and then we'll have that conversation. So don't for one freaking minute tell me I'm being mean. I'm saying that now because some people are probably saying, well, he's being mean. No, I'm not. I'm being real. I'm a real motherfucker. That's why. I tells it like it is. Direct. To your face. Because you're not going to do anything about it. But get schooled on more truthful knowledge. You feel me, bruh? And that's how that shit gonna work. Now, I'll continue. Let me start with the grand jury process. How corrupt that shit is so it really resonates in your mind. Yeah. I'll tell you a little story of how this begins. 1743. John Peter Zenger was indicted on libel sedition. Several occasions. 1743. This results directly to jury nullification. He went before the jury and they indicted him and he was not found guilty on 3 times because the jury said, no, we're not going to agree with that law. Again, jury nullification. Yes, you can nullify an alleged law. That is your right. That's in 20 state constitutions. Oh, get this shit. New Hampshire is the first state and the only state you need that has made jury nullification legal. Look it up. Just passed this year. And since we live in a court case common law jurisdiction, all you need is one. So here in Nevada, if I'm on a jury stand, I can say, hey, New Hampshire passed a law, and we live in a common law case law jurisdiction, so I can use, now I know I can use jury nullification, but I'll continue. Yeah, that was the story of John Peter Zenger. John Peter Zenger, Z-E-N-G-E-R. Now, let me read to you some court case decisions that's really going to cement this shit. Costello versus the United States, citation number 350 U.S. 359, 1956, says as follows. This was a grand jury clause case decided on hearsay evidence. However, Justice Hugo Black, grand juries can still act on their own free will as jurors. Grand juries can still act on their own free will as jurors. Yes. Jury nullification is legal. Yes. Attorneys are going to lie to you and say it's not. Yes, they will. But we know it's legal. You see? That's also helping protect the innocent. Because a lot of innocent people go to prison. Justice Hugo Black also says, this is also when jury nullification can be used. Number 2. United States versus Manjunano. I'll spell that because I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. M-A-N-D-U-J-A-N-O. Citation number 425 U.S. 564 1976. Says as follows. The grand jury's historic office has been to provide a shield against any arbitrary or oppressive action by governments. And District 1 courts are local, state, federal governments. And they're local governments, but when they say governments, they are referring to local, state, and federal governments. Doesn't matter. It can even be in a federal grand jury indictment. Doesn't matter. Now, let me read you this. I may have to look down more, so bear with me. But you need to hear this. So I'm going to come closer so you can hear it. Grand jury held behind closed doors in private with a required secrecy or witnesses excluded. Only jurors and prosecutor can be behind those doors. Grand juries only indict with the majority. Prosecutors do not have to submit info that may make his witness unreliable. That's one fraud. That's bullshit. I'll say that again. Prosecutors do not have to submit or info that may make his witness unreliable. He doesn't have to do that. I think he should have to, or she should have to. Hearsay is also allowed as evidence in a grand jury that would not be allowed in a trial jury. Again, that's number 2. Why the grand jury indictment process is so corrupted and so much fraud. Hearsay evidence heard outside of court, but this type of evidence will be allowed in a grand jury trial. See, now I'm reading this because they're saying they can and can't. What I'm saying is this. You can see how corrupt the grand jury. They just need a grand jury indictment so they can get a case. Witnesses are not allowed to have an attorney present with them in grand jury. That's another bullshit. See, this whole thing is corrupted to benefit the corrupt. That's why I keep saying corrupted. Because it benefits the corrupt. Yeah. Jurors can ask any questions they want of witnesses. Witnesses have no way of knowing what evidence was presented because a lot of it is bullshit, a lot of it is hearsay, and so forth and so on. So witnesses may not know if evidence presented was misleading or accurate. Misleading or accurate. They don't know that. I can go on, but you're getting the point because grand jury indictments lead to trials. During those trials, they also tell them they don't know about, they can't jury nullify and they have to go by the court instructions, which is bullshit, which also leads to innocent persons going to prison because it starts with the grand jury indictment process. But I'm going to continue reading some more stuff. This is very important. Look up jury nullification. Jury nullification, jury nullification, jury nullification. And to you attorneys that don't like what I'm saying and shaking your head, fuck you, kiss my ass, and go to hell. Yeah, I said it. 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. And what? What you gonna do about it? Because I'm educating people on true knowledge? That's your problem. Why don't you grow some fucking balls and be ethical and professional and moral and defend and protect the Constitution that you swore to do? Because last time I checked, you took an oath. And by the way, if you all want to know if they took an oath or not, take your ass right down to your local downtown and look up, I forgot what office is in the counter, not the county assessor's office, but it's down in the courtroom office to look up, pull the attorney's affidavit of oath, because they have to sign it. Once they raise their hand, they have to sign it also, and that's on public record. Now I'm going to read you some more cases. I mean, jury nullification has been all over the map. They just keep it very well hidden because they don't want you to know about it. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm going to spell it. Stettinus versus the United States. Citation number 13387, DC Circuit Court 1839. Jury nullification. This allowed defendants to not render decisions until all arguments are heard by a jury. Now, though in this case all the arguments could be hearsay, but the point they're getting at is this. It's still jury nullification. It's under jury nullification. That's the point. This also led to motions in writing often before the jury was impaneled to be argued and decided without the jury being present. This process began with motions of Limine, L-I-M-I-N-E, written requests or motion to judge to include or exclude certain evidence. That's what that means. Now, here's a brief story. History of jury nullification. It started in the 1600s. That's how far back it goes, and that's how very important jury nullification really is. Because and they also want to paint a picture. Don't get it twisted, because an attorney comes dressed in a nice $1,000 suit, drives a nice car, you're in a court setting, it looks all professional. Don't think for a second, just because all that facade, they're presenting truthful, accurate, constitutional evidence, because a lot of times they're not. I'm not saying all. A lot of times they're not. So don't get it twisted. Don't let that sway you. Listen to the evidence and ask them, can they or can they not be informed? I want to about jury nullification. After, and this is after. Don't do it during. After, if you want to bring it up, do it after you've been picked as a jury already. In that case, if they dismiss you, then you can fight against as to why. There are rules on that. If they dismiss you because you know about jury nullification, oh, they're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, they can get in a lot of trouble for that shit. Like, I say I go through the jury process, and okay, I'm picked as a juror. Okay, the trial's going to start. And maybe on the second or third time, oh, by the way, we're going to use jury nullification too, by the way. And if they dismiss you, they're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. They may get you to sign something, say you can or you can't talk about it. Don't get it twisted and don't get discouraged or intimidated. Yeah, okay, I'll sign anything you want. However, be advised, and tell them this verbally. Be advised. Right next to my signature, on the left of my signature on paper, I'm going to put VC. That means you're under duress, stress, and coercion. Look it up. It's a Latin word. I forgot. That's what it means, but I can't pronounce it. But just put the initials VC. That's all you need to know. And further to cement that, under the word signature, before you sign it, do not sign it until after you put this first. All rights reserved. UCC 1-308 without prejudice. All rights reserved means you are not waiving any of your unalienable rights supported to awarded to you by God upon birth. Our founding fathers have said that. Nor you're giving up anything whatsoever that's also supported by the Constitution. Don't say my constitutional rights. The Constitution does not give you rights. You already have your rights. the Constitution enforces your rights. Rashawn Elam on my Facebook really cemented that in my head, and I got that shit down pat. I not only have I learned it, but I understood it now. Without prejudice means, oh, I read the contract. Yeah, I read this. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah. C spot run. Yeah, I read it. However, I don't agree to it. Then sign your signature. That's what that means. If they say, well, oh, that's illegal. You're defacing you're defacing a federal document. That's a crime. Really? Wow. Where's the law on that? And then I will show you many things in the United States Constitution that says I can. Because right now, what I'm doing by signing that, I'm exercising my First Amendment right. And if you trip up and say right, a First Amendment right, that's cool. I want to see if you caught that. Hear what I said? First Amendment right? Again, the amendments, the Constitution doesn't give you rights. Get into the habit of saying unalienable, inalienable. Unalienable, inalienable. Unalienable, inalienable. Some people pronounce it, I've heard scholars even pronounce these words differently. Unalienable, inalienable. And I've heard scholars pronounce it unalienable, inalienable. Look them up. And I want you to look them up. I'm not going to tell you the definition, but look them up. Look them up. Unalienable. UNALIENABLE. And the other, inalienable, is the obvious. So if they say, well, you're defacing a legal document, blah, blah, blah. No, that's my unalienable, inalienable rights to express in writing per the First Amendment, my freedom of speech and expression. Because that's in the First Amendment as well. Not only are you expressing your freedom of speech, but you are expressing it in writing. Yes. You have to start breaking things down and explain that in detail so it resonates in their minds more. They're going to trip you up. They're going to lie to you again. Well, you just can't do that. No, yeah, I can do that, stupid, dumbass, lawyer. Yes, I can. Attorney, Esquire, Rothschild's little wimp. Yeah, I can. And the reason I say Rothschild's little wimp, because the bar was erected by the Rothschilds banking dynasty in our country in 1879, right in the state of Indiana, which Indiana became a statehood in 1811. I explained that in my other YouTube video. But anyway, I'm slightly digressing. But jury nullification was signed into law by the governor of New Hampshire. Fact, look it up. That's easy to find. Hell, just call the Secretary of State of New Hampshire and ask them. They'll tell you flat out. I'm gonna read to you. I don't want too much of a break. I was good on my notes. I was getting good. However, oh, this is my favorite right here by former Supreme Court Justice John Jay, also a founding father. This is one of my favorite quotes. John Jay, former Supreme Court Justice, founding father, says, in the year 1794, he says as follows. Now, this is him. I'm quoting. So all you attorneys don't like it? I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. The truth is going to come out in this motherfucker today. Believe that. Justice John Jay says, the concept of jury nullification was present in English common law and exercised in American law before the Revolution. Yep. He sure did. And also, I don't remember the exact wording, but John Jay also says the jury has the right to challenge and nullify the laws in question. That's what he said. I'm just quoting. That's the Supreme Court Chief Justice saying that. So what does that tell you? To this very day, officers of the court and of the law still raise their hands to that oath and to support and defect or support and defend the Constitution. I said defect. I'm saying that because I wish a lot of crooked attorneys would defect. Go to Antarctica. Go to Greenland. Get the hell out of here, because you're corrupting the country. I mean, you corrupt motherfuckers. You're a disease. You're a walking disease. You are. I'm just keeping it real. So, be advised, enjoy nullification. And I'm going to close with this. Listen. Wake up. I'm just getting started, baby. I'm learning shit every day. Have for the past 3.5 years. Now, I want you to look up an organization. They're called Fully Informed Jury Association. Yes, look them up. Fully Informed Jury Association. FIJA.org. There are a lot of volunteers. I volunteer myself. Oh, hold on. Give me about 4 seconds. You see this? I wrote a nice letter to our sheriff out here, who I don't like. A lot of us don't like because he's very arrogant, very pompous. And if you see or hear the remarks, he said when his department murdered Eric Scott out here in Costco, his arrogant attitude. And how they got away with it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Why a lot don't like him. Anyway, I mailed him a 6-page letter explaining to him that your department is being watched more. We don't appreciate your uncouth, unethical acts. You're being watched sometimes randomly at night via video, a night vision video with audio. Some people have scanners. Some important calls. We have volunteers that will go to the scene and film you without your knowledge, and that can be done because that's also been upheld by the Supreme Court on several occasions that we can. Yes, because you all are state employees. You're beholden to us. We're the boss, the people, the sovereign. We tell you. You don't tell us, and that's just how it's going to be forever, at least in this lifetime. Anyway. What I also mailed to the attorney, I also hand-delivered to the district attorney, to the sheriff, and I hand-delivered to the district attorney this. In this, because it's too small for you to have read this now, are Supreme Court case decisions that will support jury nullification that much more, because it's federalism as well. For example, Abelman versus Booth. No state can make or enforce laws that contradict federal courts. Since the federal courts, and even now state courts, and even state constitutions, says jury nullification is legal, therefore you can't stand in the way. Cooper versus Aaron. Citation number 358 U.S. 1, 1958. All states are bound by U.S. Supreme Court case decisions. This also falls in jury nullification. By the way, the first case named to you, Abelman versus Booth, the citation number on that is 62 U.S. 506 in 1859. That's a very important Supreme Court case decision that can affect any court matter. Any court. I don't care what it is. Okay. Now. Now these cases I'm going to read because this coincides. This goes perfect when you hand out leaflets for jury nullification, because they're going to states and cities are going to try to erect or ordinance or whatever that you can't loiter, you can't hand out whatever. It's all bullshit. It's all nullified, and these Supreme Court case decisions will prove that once you learn how to incorporate certain court case decisions in your case. Because just so you know, a court case decision that you want to use to defend yourself does not have to be exactly about your case. You're using a court case decision to break down how certain inalienable rights are being violated that are supported by the Constitution. That's what you're doing. For example, Say I'm handing out flyers for oh sir ma'am, here you want here this is about jury nullification. Sir ma'am, this is about jury nullification. Say they come down, the bailiff from the courts come down and say, well, oh, you can't hand this out. That's against our ordinance. Really? Well, according to the City of Chicago versus Morales, citation number 527 U.S. 41 1999, loitering ruled unconstitutional per the Due Process Clause in the 14th Amendment. So if they say I'm loitering because of an ordinance, that's a flat out lie. That law is automatically null and void. And have this stuff on your person so you can show them. Because I do that. I make copies of this stuff. I take it with me in case I get bothered. I've only been bothered one time, but he was a nice gentleman. I handed it to him. So now you know. I've just contracted you about the law. Now you know. So if he comes back or she comes back to harass me again, okay, now I'm going to sue you under contract law. And I'm going to win. I guarantee you that. Because contract law is not just written, it's verbal also. Contract law I'll get into a later date because that contract law is very powerful. It's very powerful. But I'll continue. Here's another Supreme Court case decision that ruled loitering in case they want to again erect a loitering law that will try to forbid you from leafletting, handing out flyers. Colander Chief of Police of San Diego versus Edward Lawson, citation number 461 U.S. 352, etc., etc. The rest of it will pop up in 1983. Also ruled loitering was unconstitutional. This is beautiful stuff. I love it. Here's another one. Oh, I love this one. Now, this is a good one here. United States versus Lee, citation number 106, U.S. 220 1S 1882. No man or woman in this country are higher or above the law and are bound to obey it. Meaning you court officers, attorneys, whatever, you're not above the law. You have to obey it too. So people like us are telling you about jury nullification laws and how it's actually legal. You have to follow it. Because if you don't, I'm going to contract you, see? Yeah, I'm going to contract you into contract law. Then I'm going to sue you. And I'm going to win. Then I'm going to start attaching liens to your property, to your bank accounts. And I will be doing it successfully because I'm being schooled right now about contract law from a gentleman who's very well schooled on contract law. So, keep it up, corrupt. You're just see your corrupt ways. Actually, I love because you're educating us on your corrupt ways. So keep it up, please. Keep feeding me your corruption. I love it, baby. It's beautiful. I'll continue. I'm having a little bit of fun right now. I'm at 38 minutes. I want to keep it under 40, so I'm going to read and I'm going to conclude. Read one more. All judges should be reminded of Article 6, Section 1, Clause 3. Article 6, Section 2, the Supremacy Clause. Article 6, Section 1, Clause 5. And if a court officer says they have immunity, no, you don't. United States versus Bishop. 412 U.S. 346, 1973 states as follows. Officers of the court have no immunity, which is fact. I'm just saying, in case you tell them you're going to sue them for violating your unalienable rights supported by the Constitution, they'll say, well, I have immunity. No, you don't. And I'm going to show you how you don't have it. Once I drop this Title 42, United States Code, 1983, deprivation of rights lawsuit against your sorry, corrupt, tyrannical, unethical, immoral, unconstitutional butt. That's how that's going to roll. Yeah, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 years to play out in the courts, but in the end, you're going to lose, I'm going to win, I'm going to go home. Bye. That's how that's going to work. Unless I just give up, which I'm not going to do because I don't even know what that means. I have no clue what giving up and quitting. I don't know what those words mean. Terms mean. Those are terms? It must be in a different language I'm not aware of. Sorry. Anyway, get educated because you never know if you yourself may be in a very serious, sticky situation, a loved one, a friend. Me, I mean, I don't even have to know you. You're innocent. You're innocent. I'll protect you, even if I don't like you, because unlike a lot of people, I can leave my bias, remarks, or feelings out if I'm protecting someone who's perfectly innocent. I got no problem with that. Most people can't do that. I can do that. Most people can't. So, Fully Informed Jury Association, FIJA.org. 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 Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Gotta go. Peace. Y'all be safe and keep studying. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking to. Keep studying. Don't quit. This is a fight. And I love it, baby. I really do. Peace.